Master Grade Dynames Gundam. Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video we have the Master Grade GN-002 Gundam Dynames. Released in April of 2019, appearing in the anime Mobile Suit Gundam 00, alongside the Exia, Curios, and Virtue. They form a 4-man Gundam team for the Celestial Beings. This is the second Gundam to actually receive a Master Grade. You know, that isn't piloted by Setsuna, because boy, there's a lot of them. The Dynames is designed for long-range combat, in contrast to the close-range Exia, and it is piloted by Lock-On Stratos. Rip to my favorite character in that series, whose suit is now finally a Master Grade. With that being said, let's take a look, starting with the box. And what a fantastic looking box art, which you can say is a pretty good indicator of how the kit's gonna look. And this particular art makes me want to have it as a poster. And here's a picture of the Curios, foreshadowing its release later on. And flipping the box on the side, we can see a fully painted kit of the Dynames. And a nice view of the sniper rifle with its bipod engaged. A full view of the painted sniper rifle as well, because if you guys didn't notice already, this guy's a sniper. The box also shows a cool new gimmick in the gun camera, which is located on the forehead. We'll be taking a look at that later, because that's pretty cool. Another new feature introduced in this kit is its highly articulated neck. It has exceptional neck mobility, which will drastically help with the posing. And spoiler alert, this guy is very fun to pose. And on the other side of the box, we got shown some more gimmicks, with the first image being the inner frame, and being a modern Master Grade nowadays, we got English on the box. We made it, guys, we made it. We're also shown some new weaponry, gimmicks, and very cool poses to pull off. Also a painted figure of Lock-On Stratos, and a picture showing the GN drive that can be lit up. However, I do not have the batteries, and I refuse to spend money on the batteries because they'll die really quickly. That being said, let's look at the kit. And here it is. This kit has been panel lined and fully decaled up as instructed by the manual. And you are given quite a bit amount of decal stickers. They were all relatively easy to put on except the ones on the shield, just because they were really angular and they have to fit a specific way. However, they look really good and definitely help break up all the green on the shield, kind of giving it a little camel look. However, I'm not sure how effective that would be because it's white on green. And I would like to point out one issue I have with these stickers is the fact you can easily see they are stickers because of the borders that they have. And when zooming in, they just stick out quite a bit on the green. The shields are cut right to fit, so then you don't see the borders. However, for the other decals on the green, they're just not as great. That's why I prefer water slide decals or dry transfers. They hide it better. But that's just if you zoom in. Looking at it from a distance, you would hardly notice the stickers. If anything, it just adds a nice amount of detail onto the kit itself. Though not a very colorful kit, this kit does have a really good amount of part separation, as well as some good panel lining opportunities. That gives a lot of surface level detail, and similar to the decals, helps break up all the green and whites. I absolutely love the 00 Gundam designs, so as you can already tell, I have an extreme bias for the Dynames. I personally find it's a very sleek looking kit, and the design is straightforward, for form and function. Though the mobile suit is very slim, the GN shields give it quite a bit of bulk, all the while being able to act like a cloak, and giving it those edgelord points. And despite being primarily made of white and greens, with a few red, yellow, and grey accents, the color contrasts really well, which I find makes the kit look really sharp. The color is pretty accurate to the anime design, and as you can see, it translates really well in the kit. Definitely not a perfect one-to-one copy, however from appearance alone, the Master Grade is definitely a step up from the anime. And though similar in appearance to the Exia, the Dynames is constructed on a brand new frame, resulting in a kit that does not suffer from any of the issues the Exia had, such as weak ankles and bad hands. With the only major issue I've noticed with this kit is the gun holsters. They do have the tendency of falling off a lot, however they are really easy to reattach, just wanted to point that out. Also, butt boosters. Alrighty, on to articulation. Let's remove this gun, just pop it right off. We'll be taking a look at that later. Okay, let's start with the head. The head is easily able to do a perfect 360. We have this much of a side-to-side pivot, and unlike traditional gun pull-out kits, the head is not on a ball and socket joint. It is actually on a double hinge joint, one on the base of the skull and one on the base of the neck, thus giving the Dynames excellent neck mobility, allowing exceptional range of motion for the up and down head tilt, as well as the neck extension. This means the Dynames actually can look down the scope of its gun, also allowing the head to look forward while being in a prone position. I'm not sure if you understand how impressive that is, but I can assure you this is pretty amazing. And I have yet to build a kit that can do something similar, and it's always nice to see when Bandai implements new engineering into their builds. And this leads to the next interesting gimmick that the head has. Pulling out the old trusty manual, the V-fin crest part is able to slide forward, revealing its third eye, called the gun camera. Just gonna decapitate this sucker to make it easier, and the gun camera is hidden right here. Also, very important, be very gentle when you do this. I managed to snap the red piece that connects to the V-fin. Thank God for Tamiya cement glue. Just because I've built so many kits before, I will break a piece sooner or later. And there you go, all fixed. And like the manual said, just pull it forward, and there you have it, his third eye revealed. A very cool gimmick that they added, and it definitely fits with the sniper theme. Continuing with articulation, we got these fins that move up and down, and they dislodge if you move them too much. As for arm movement, the arms could externally and internally rotate this much. This chest vent piece also moves along with it, allowing a greater range of motion. The whole arm can abduct and adduct this much, and if you take the GN shields off, you get a better range of motion. And the arm could perform a 360, shoulder pauldrons could hinge up and down, the larger GN shield could 360 rotate, the adapter piece that the shield's attached to could slide in and out. Sliding the adapter in locks the whole shield from rotating, and when slid out, it's able to rotate, giving the shields a cloak appearance. And the GN shield is comprised of 3 segments, and each segment has a hinge, allowing the GN shield to fold in some cool ways. This was pretty fun to play around with. And yeah, as you can see, this kit comes with some pretty cool gimmicks. And let's just remove that arm, because that big shield's hard to work with. The rear GN shield is able to flap up and down, and is somewhat modular. Slide the bottom part out and unhook the top. Don't do the reverse or you're going to snap the hook. And on top of the GN shield adapter, there are slots for the smaller GN shield to attach to. Nothing too crazy, but it is very cool that you are able to do this. As for articulation in the arm, we have the upper bicep 360, and we can see a clear piece for the GN piping, right on the back of the forearm, and we got a good elbow bend, also revealing the GN piping, full arm extension. Coming down to the hands, they are very well designed, attached to the forearm by a peg and socket, and the wrist has 2 hinge joints, allowing for flexion and extension, while also allowing the wrist to abduct and adduct. A very well designed hand that could also 360 rotate. And the thumb's on a basic ball socket joint. Moving on to the torso, similar to other Master Grades, this does have an opening cockpit. Lift up the green piece and then pop down the red hatch, and though it may be hard to see, but lock-on is right in there. As for movement, here's the side bend, ab crunch and ab extension, very good. This abdominal armor panel is able to move, and it's able to do a 360. Now instead of bum boosters, we got ball boosters. Okay, that's a thing. How unsightly. Like I said, 360. Just gonna bisect him so we can take a look at the back. And like the Exia, these latches are able to hinge to hold onto the GN drive. Additionally, there's an armor piece on top that serves the same function, and when they're all open, you can slide out the GN drive. Pretty much looks the same as the Exia, however this one doesn't collapse on itself and doesn't fall apart. And also like the Exia, you can put a battery in there to light it up. And to put it back in, there are 2 protruding pegs that need to be aligned with the grooves in the back when slid in. And with that done, just clamp them all down and you're good to go. As we come down to the skirts, the front skirts are attached to a hinge which is attached to the hips by a ball joint, giving a pretty good range of motion. The 4 panels can be flipped up, revealing some missile pods, which is pretty cool to have crotch missiles. And turning the kit around, we have the thrusters, or as I like to call them, butt boosters. They have a pretty cool opening gimmick, that when they open, the thrusters actually come out. As for movement, the thrusters are able to move side to side as well as up and down. The beam sabers are housed on the side of the thrusters, and they can be hinged out quite a bit. Coming down to the lower body, let's spread them! Amazing spread, like a friggin' gymnast. The leg can kick this high, and this far back. We have a 360 rotation on the leg, great knee bend, could pretty much kick himself in the butt. The front of the knee has a compartment where you can open, revealing some more missiles, which are also on a hinge joint, allowing it some linear movement. Having hidden weapons designed right into the kit is so friggin' cool. And that's not the only one. This large compartment is actually a gun holsters for his GN pistols. Super duper cool gimmick. And you can store the pistols by just sliding them right in and closing the hatch. Coming down to the foot, the front ankle armor is able to move up and down, and the rear ankle armors function the same way. For ankle mobility, the ankle is able to pivot side to side this much. Very well done, won't be spraining any ankles here. 360 rotation of the ankle, individual hinge movement on the toes, very nice to see. And here we have a decent range of motion for the toe pointing and dorsiflexion. Having built this last year, I'm happy to say that nothing has gotten loose. Overall, the Dynames' articulation is amazing. It's a very solid kit and has really good mobility. Now let's take a look at what else it comes with. First things first, we got 2 pairs of beam sabers. Just yank that beam saber handle off. Yeah, that part comes along with it sometimes, so just put it back in. Slide the beam saber right into the socket. Not bad, it looks pretty good with swords. Next up, we got 4 sets of fingers. First we have a pair of trigger finger hands. These will be for the pistols and the sniper rifle. Next up we got a pair of clenched fists. Thirdly, we have a pair of holding hands, which is for the beam sabers. And finally we have some spread out fingers. Next little extra we have is a miniature figurine of Lock-On Stratos. I love how master grades always include this. Moving along, we have an action-based adapter. Unlike most kits, the Dynames has 2 points of connections for the adapter. One underneath his crotch and one on his butt, which is perfect for dynamic poses. And what's a pose without weapons? For something so small, the pistols do have some nice detail on it, and you could definitely pull off some cool poses with those. I mean, look how dynamic this is. Kinda makes me want to get another one. Just for the pistol poses. And keep in mind, action-based not included. And finally, the last accessory, or weapon, or whatever you want to call it, the GN Sniper Rifle, the primary weapon for the Dynames, and it looks pretty good. Also comes with a bipod. It actually comes with 2 lengths of bipods, which are detachable. I unfortunately misplaced them and I have no idea where they are. The bipods are on a hinge and are able to move independently, and when they're not in use, you can just fold them up right to the barrel of the gun. There's a secondary handle for the gun, which is on a hinge joint, and it can slide forward and back just like a real rifle. Pretty cool. The stock of the sniper rifle is also able to adjust forward and back, which helps when the stock slots into the forearm, giving it a very solid connection. Even the scope of the sniper rifle could be moved a little bit, and combined with the neck articulation, could be put in some pretty good poses. To store the sniper rifle, there is a hook here, similar to the GN shields, and storing it is just a matter of hooking on the top piece and sliding the bottom piece down, and similar to the GN shields, is a very secure connection. And while we're at it, shake test! Okay, not bad at all. Only the pistol holster fell off, as expected. Overall, completely solid build. Nice. Personally, not surprising at all. That being said, size comparison. Here it is next to an entry grade RX-78-2, which it towers over. Real grade new Gundam, a little bit closer in height, but that's because the real grade new is a monster. Next to the master grade MK2, it's much more similar in size. The Dynames only looks shorter because it's in a pose. And here it is next to another 1/100, the Full Mechanics Vidar. Green and white, blue and black. Next up, figurized standard amplified Gallant mod. Though Digimon don't have a scale, it's pretty close in size. And here it is next to Haro, DK, Doraemon, Funko Winry, Egbert, and finally, the levitating light bulb. As for shelf presence, it's gonna be the same as like any other 1/100, and it looks really good when it's next to its boys. The sniper rifle and the green definitely makes it unique. So what do I think about this kit? Well, the only problem I had with this kit was the holsters. They were just loose and they come off a lot. And if that's the only negative I could bring up, this kit is essentially perfect. Other than the pistol holster, completely solid build. The kit has amazing levels of articulation, especially in the ankles, highly flexible without being loose, and also right in the neck. The engineering here is amazing, and you definitely know Bandai did this specifically for this kit so then they could use the sniper rifle properly. And speaking of engineering, they put a lot of it into the gimmicks, especially with the head camera, giving it an extra level of detail, as well as the modular GN shield, which is very fun to play around with, and definitely goes well with the Dynames, without being too extra. But if you want extras, there are missiles hidden in the kneecaps and front skirts, as well as holsters for the pistols. Also, butt boosters. And did I mention, this guy's definitely a poser, and a super good one at that. The kit had no issues holding up any pose I put him in. All that being said, unless you do not like the design of this kit, or a complete beginner, I see no reason why you wouldn't pick this up. Hey, thanks for watching my videos. I hope you like it. I enjoy making it. Let me know what you think. This way I could get better at making videos. If you couldn't already tell, I absolutely love the Dynames, so I'll definitely be reviewing the Curios. And with the up and coming release of the Virtue, I can't wait to get the boys back together. And thanks again for watching my videos. Take care, bye!